mean to be American? To be American is to be diverse. We are surrounded by countless people of different cultures, ethnicities, and backgrounds. According to the US Census, 60% of the US population is white, 18% are Hispanic or Latino, 13% are African American, and 6% are Asian. But despite the breadbasket that America is today, and the civil rights movement of the mid-1900s, a post-racial society is far from reality. In fact, measures have been taken to promote racial diversity, such as affirmative action. But what is affirmative action? Affirmative action is essentially where colleges can consider an applicant's race in a holistic determination of whether or not they should be admitted. In other words though, here's Derrick Johnson from the NAACP.
It is to level the playing field of the inequity created because of a privilege based on where someone is born that they had no choice of.
But just because affirmative action has the goal of promoting equality doesn't mean it's effective. We talked to U.S. Representative Pete Olson of the 22nd Congressional District of Texas.
So, first of all, do you support affirmative action, and why or why not?
The concept, yes, but the way it works now, no. It's hurting people, that it's trying to help people or hurting more people. We have to address this issue, but the way we're doing it right now, it's not working.
But do you think affirmative action could be improved from its current state?
It has to be. Again, we hear word damage all the time. There's lawsuits out there at Harvard and other schools where Asian Americans are being denied slots because they're Asian Americans.
Right.
We had a suit in Clements High School, a young lady who was at the top. This is a little different, kind of not federal, but also the state. She's in the top 10%, well, she's in the top 11%. In the state law of Texas, in the top 10, you're guaranteed a slot at Texas State School.
Right.
Across the state, she was in the top 1%. But because her school was so strong, she was denied admission to her dream, which was UT in Austin.
There have been a series of lawsuits regarding affirmative action, starting with University of California v. Back. This landmark case in 1978 upheld affirmative action, that colleges can use race in the college admissions process, but did not allow quotas for minority students. More recently, in Fisher v. University of Texas, the Supreme Court once again upheld affirmative action on the basis of Texas's 10% rule. This is that the top 10% of any public high school is automatically admitted into Texas public universities. And even now this is an issue. Harvard is currently being sued for discrimination against Asian Americans. On the other hand, Democratic National Chairperson Tom Perez speaks favorably regarding affirmative action. Our first question, is do you support affirmative action?
I support affirmative action because affirmative action is about making sure that we look at the holistic, whether it's in the workplace or whether it's in education, that we take a holistic look at what every individual brings to the table. And that has produced, I think, educational settings that are more inclusive, and that has produced work settings that are more inclusive.
How well do you think it's working right now? Can it be improved, and if so, how?
Well, we can always mend affirmative action, and that's why the courts have said that you must always review what you are doing to see how it's going, to see if there are any improvements that can be made, and institutions do that regularly, making sure they're looking at their processes to ensure that they're both compliant with the law and they're working.
We also talked with Gilberto Hinojosa, chair of the Texas Democratic Party. I wanted to ask you, what are your views on affirmative action? Do you support it?
Well, I'm a product of affirmative action. If scales were equal for everybody, you don't need affirmative action. But that's not the way it is, and it has never been that way. And until that situation ultimately corrects itself, after years of struggle and people succeeding, you need to have affirmative action programs.
No doubt diversity is an essential part of being American. We grow up experiencing a wide range of different cultures and backgrounds. And now that you've heard both sides of the affirmative action debate, what do you think? Does affirmative action promote diversity or discrimination?